Jai Gurudev, welcome to my very first podcast on the mirror's work itself. My name's Asha Dassi, in case you didn't already know me, and I am the writer and facilitator of the mirror's work. And today I'm going to tell you all about the mirror's work and what's at the heart of it. Now, in a nutshell, what exactly is the mirror's work? Well, I have appropriated one of Guruji's really well-known phrases, a journey from the mind to the heart, because it very much describes what the mirror's work actually is. And this is a journey that he's taken me on himself over 20 years from when the mirror's work was very first conceived. Now, this has been a journey from a mind, and I'm talking about my mind, which was very, very rigid, which was very independent, which didn't want to crack under anybody else's, what it termed, regime of thinking. And so Guruji, he made sure that he took me on a journey where that mindset did actually crack. Now, it wasn't an easy journey. It was one which was strife with adversity. It was a journey in which my mind had to be challenged very, very profoundly. I'd gone through severe abuse as a child and was pretty messed up in some ways as a teenager and, you know, even into my 20s and 30s. And I also experienced deep loss when my son was killed at the age of 21 in a car accident in 2007. And Guruji used that to take me take me into my heart. That was a very, very difficult time for me. And I underwent severe depression and suicidal ideation. And I was very, very close to actually ending my own life. But Guruji, he took me on a journey from the mind all into my heart. And that what that meant was he stripped away all of the ideas that I had about myself, all of the negative ideas I had about the world, all of the negative ideas I had about other people. And he helped me to see life for what it truly was. He helped me to see that there was real purpose in this world. He helped me to see that everything that I'd gone through meant something and had to count for something. And he showed me how to make everything count for something. He showed me what the end goal of this life is. And he showed me how to work towards that. And to this day, that's what I'm doing. And the mirror's work is that journey. It reflects my journey, and what he wants now is for me to share that journey with you. So the mirror's work, what is it? It's a journey from the mind to the heart, and it is the most beautiful one, and I can testify to that. So what do we do on the mirror's work? What is it? You know, so the mirror's work, it's a journey, as I said. So when I call it a journey, what I'm saying is that it's not a course, it's not a program, it's not a workshop, it's a lifelong journey. But what you do, the very first thing that you do is you will sign on to a 4-day introductory course. And that may come in the form of a retreat or just a 4-day course, but content is the same. And what that means is that you will be exposed to your mind. You will come into confrontation with how your mind works. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, he said, the mind is much more difficult to control than the wind. And Lord Krishna says, yes, that's actually true. You know, it can be your worst enemy or it can be your best friend, but it can be your best friend if you learn how to control it. Now, what the mirror's work teaches you is that unless you understand how manipulative, what a liar, how deep our mind goes in terms of its ability to keep you entrapped within it, all of its strategies to keep you entrapped. Unless you understand those things, it means that you are never going to really transform who you are. You might transform at the surface, but you'll never truly transform at the deepest level where it really counts. Because all of us, we all are on Guruji's path. And what Guruji asks us to do is to really let go of everything and head towards that end goal of God realization. And that's what the mirrors work helps you to do. And I take you through all of the processes that Guruji helps me to build and helped me to transform within myself as well. So you're going to go through on that 4-day journey, the introductory course. You will be introduced to your mind. You'll be shocked by what it does, but you will start in that 4-day to take control of it. And you'll be given some beautiful processes to mirrors work processes so that you can see who you are and you can see who other people really are rather than how you think they are. You learn how much your mind makes you suffer. It's not other people that make you suffer. It's not situations that make you suffer. It's the way you look at those situations, the way your mind helps you to perceive those situations. That's what makes you suffer. And you come away from that really having learned something profound. You will transform in one way or another just on those 4 days alone. But following those 4 days, what you will then be eligible for are a whole range of different courses that will really challenge you to really transform who you are. And as I said, it's a lifetime's journey. You don't just learn this in one shot. This is not a new age course where it's all touchy-feely and, and it's feel good and it's just transformation at the very surface. This runs deep. This digs deep, and it helps you to really, really see everything, yourself, other people, the world, for what it really is. Now, the mirrors work actually helps you to answer some of these questions that you can see on the screen. It asks you, what if the people and situations that disturb us the most are not obstacles on our path, but are actually the path itself? What if our lives are a set of deliberate experiences and not chance encounters? What if being in those situations and experiencing those conflicts were all part of a grand design? What if the situations that we find ourselves in are revealing who we really are, as opposed to who we want the world to see? Now, I just wanted to ask you those questions so that you can see the questions that are asked of you on the mirrors work, to give you a flavor of what the mirrors work really is. Because what's at the heart of the mirrors work is the fact that this whole world is designed as a mirror of who you are. It's designed of a mirror. It's designed to reflect everything that's within us, everything that we think, the good stuff and the not so good stuff, the not so good stuff that makes us really suffer. And so from that, we get to understand that there isn't anything that happens in this world that is a mistake. There isn't anything that is random. There isn't anything that happens by chance. There isn't anything that is a coincidence. Every life experience is planned out. Every life experience was always meant to be. And every life experience was meant to reflect back who we are. So when psychology tells us, avoid the triggers that upset you, don't do that. The mirrors work says, no, listen to what the triggers are telling you so that you can then look within and explore what ideas that you're holding on to that make you suffer. This is all Guruji's work. And that's what we learn on the mirrors work, is that everything about the mirrors work is based on Guruji's teachings and reflects all of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And as you go through those courses, you are reminded of the Bhagavad Gita teachings, and you're reminded of Guruji and what he wants of us and what he tells us is the best way forward for our lives. So the mirrors work, it's going to challenge the way that you think. And but when you really start to think within the mirrors framework, you start to see life for what it is, and you start to see yourself for who you truly are beneath all of this, beyond the chatter of the mind. Okay, so what does the mirrors work course, the program, the journey, what does it all comprise? Well, it comprises three major elements. And the first very important element are the 10 principles. Now, what the 10 principles are, these are core teachings which you can find in the Bhagavad Gita and also predominantly in Guruji's teachings. Now, what these principles do is they each form a teaching within themselves, but when they all come together, they form a perspective through which all of the masters see life. So it forms the perspective of life as it really is. And you get to look through that lens for the time that you are on the program itself. Now, when you come onto the program, you will come with your worldly views. And you come with your worldly views, and you find that when you're looking through the view that you currently see yourself, that you currently see other people, that you currently see the world around you, and that you actually currently see Guruji, you'll find it very flawed. You'll find that all of those views that you have about all of those things make you suffer. That is the reason that you've come onto the course. That is the reason that Guruji has found you, because you are suffering in one way or another, whether that's profoundly suffering, or your suffering is not quite so obvious. But the point is, he's found us because we are suffering. We exist in the Kali Yuga because all of us are lost. And Guruji has found us, but before he can truly take us home, he needs us to be able to see ourselves, see the truth of ourselves. And the way that we start to do that is by adopting the 10 principles. Now, another very important part of the course are the mirrors work exercise, experiential exercises. So these are the exercises that introduce you to all of the activities of the mind and how it keeps you trapped. So I don't tell you, when you take the course, I don't tell you what the mind is doing, because just by telling you is not going to make you remember. When you actually experience it with a group of other people, that's when you remember, because there's an emotional hook there through experiential exercises. It makes you realize something, not just have knowledge in your mind, but it makes you realize what's happening inside of you. It makes you realize all of these ideas are not real, that you live by are not actually real. And then only then are you in a position to actually do something about it. So there's that second element that is very important for you to do, and that is to experience your mind in action. And on the first 4 days, you'll do a lot of that, and we'll do it quite gently. On all of the following courses, the exercises get much more crazy in a sense, and almost otherworldly, but they really, really show you how you think, but they also show you the kind of power that you have to transform. So do the 4-day introductory first to get to know the mind, and then you'll be able to step out and do much more profound exercises after that. Now, the third most important component are the mirrors processes, because they are the processes that take you out of your current thinking and into the thinking that the that the masters possess. So it takes you out of the mind and into the heart. So you start thinking very, very differently when you start to do the mirrors work exercises. And that's really, really important. Now, the mirrors work, now, I say that they are the most important, but they couldn't exist on their own, because just doing these processes, yes, they will show you some profound things about yourself, but they won't stick unless you truly live the truth of the 10 principles and you truly see your mind in action. So all these three elements of the mirrors work, the finest teaching points, they all work together and are really, really powerful in bringing about your transformation. So just to wrap up, what are you going to walk away with if you do this course? Well, first of all, you'll learn what it really means to live out of love. You'll really get to know who you are. You'll really get to know what the strategies of the mind are, and you're going to feel a lot more in control of your mind. That is, of course, if you really do understand the principles and you make a real effort to live through them. And then you will really start to bring it into your everyday life, and you will then start to make all of those transformations. So you're going to walk away with a set of tools that will really help you to live your life. Because what I also do at the end of those courses, I give you a guide that will give you some structure to your day. And you can use that guide or not. So it's totally up to you. But if you are the kind of person that needs something to walk away with, needs something to be able to pick up, I will give you a lovely little PDF that will help you to process your daily experiences and even prepare you for those daily experiences when you wake up in the morning. So you'll walk away with a really good set of tools and with change that has really happened, and you'll walk away feeling hope that you can, that which is the most important thing, is to feel hope that God-realisation and self-realisation isn't just a distant dream for you. It's something that can actually be realised, because now you really do have the tools. So you have a living invitation from the mirrors work to come and to start the process of real transformation. Remember that this is Guruji's work. He's put me through a lot of pain so that I can be free, and also so that this work can manifest in the world, because I've always been a teacher of sorts. And when I learn something that is so deep, so profound, I always feel the need to share it. And Guruji has always known that, and he helped me as a result to really bring this to life. And all I can say to you is that it's been a really hard journey for me, but the most rewarding journey ever. I never dreamed that I could live after my son's death. I never dreamed I could be happy after the childhood that I had. But because of this work, I realized that everything always had meaning. Everything that I went through was purposeful. Everything had love behind it. There was a deeper purpose of love behind it. It was always Guruji there. He was there, and I understand this now, long before I even met him. And when I look back on it, I see that so clearly now. And then he came into my life, and he came into my life when some of the worst things, at the point that some of the worst things happened. And he got me out of bed in the morning, and he even whispered those words in my ear, make this count. And even through the suicidal ideation, I heard those words, make this count, make this count. So he didn't take away the absolute horror, the absolute pain. He needed me to feel that so that it would rip away, it would burn away all of the ideas that I didn't want to let go of before that happened. And it worked. I let go of everything, and all through his love. And so the mirrors work is Guruji's love, is Guruji's gift to all of us. So I suggest that you really do come and take this course. So if you want to go and explore a little bit more after listening to this, you can go to themirrorswork.com. On there are quite a few testimonials. If you want to talk to me about it, you can contact me on Telegram. I'm Ashadasi. It's at Ashadasi BM UK, so you can find me there, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Now, what's happening at the moment is that we are trialing the courses at BM UK. We've already done one course, and I've already done a course for the public, which included some of our devotees. And Swami Parantapa, he came on my courses 20 years ago. And since then, he's been teaching some of the processes with a lot of the devotees in South Africa and in Kenya and a few other places, including China. So there are quite a few devotees who have been exposed to the work. It's undergone a lot of changes now, and everything is now aligned with the Bhagavad Gita and with Guruji's teachings. And so go to the website, listen to the testimonials, and if you keep a lookout on the Mirrors Work Instagram page, you'll also see that in the next few weeks there will be some testimonials from Swami Parantapa's people as well, who have all undergone the courses. And the very next podcast, which we have actually made, and we're going to be putting it out next week, is an interview with Swami Parantapa, and he talks about his journey when he did the Mirrors Work with me about 18 years ago, and the profound impact that it's had on his life. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you really understand this. And as I said, just contact me and I can answer any questions for you. Jai Gurudev.